Hey everyone, so today we're going to take a look at my November budget. I set up this budget planner in another video and I talked about changing my budget strategy at that time. I went from a classic size planner to a big, and yeah, this is my first month using this planner. I have not completely set up the annual yet. I'm going to probably wait until December so that I get all that set up for the new year. What I have done though is I have already started working on using it for the last part of 2024, and then this is going to be the planner that I continue into 2025. So let's take a look at how I have set up my budget for November. As I talked about in the setup video, I am trying to change how I do my budget, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So I do have a monthly overview. This is just like a snapshot. It's not a detailed budget. I do have those pages here, but this is just a snapshot of like major expenses and things like that. Okay, so let's take a look at this November budget. So one of the first things that I want to talk about is how I've chosen to set up my budget, because I am really trying to have a better relationship with money in 2025. So instead of listing, so let me just rephrase. I am working my budget kind of in reverse, I guess. I do all of my bills and expenses, and then I take that total and I do monthly payouts to myself from my income. So in other words, instead of just listing all of the income I get for the month and then I list all my bills and expenses and I have some left over and I have to save that or put that in a savings account at that point, I'm reversing it. I am basically taking all of my income, all of my paychecks that I get from my 9-to-5 job, and I put that immediately into a savings account first. And then throughout the month, I pay myself a portion of that money related to what I have budgeted. That way, I am only paying myself exactly what I need for that month. And everything else stays in long-term savings. And I've typically put it in a high-yield savings account, but that way, I'm more intentional about how I'm using my money during the month, instead of just saying, oh, I have this extra cushion and I can buy this because I want it and I know I have that extra money. This is going to keep me being way more intentional. So for my income, instead of just saying this is when I get paid or what my monthly income is, these are actually payouts. So it's only a portion of the income I receive per month. And it's pretty high this month because it's getting to be the holidays and we have holiday travel coming up, holiday events, saving for Christmas, buying Christmas gifts. So it's like much higher than I would normally pay to myself, but that's what it's going to be for November and December. Let's just face it. So that is the approach. I just wanted to be clear about that. And it's not going to be perfect for me for the first 2 months. I'm working on it. This is the first time I have tried this approach. And I've already had to do some highlights and all that good stuff. But I'm not going to go like over the detailed numbers. This is pretty self-explanatory. You have a monthly budget here where you go over whatever income you get, however you do it. And then I have a section where I list my bills. These are more of my fixed bills. And then my expenses, which are variable. And then I have additional expenses. And then I have my summary here. And like I said, where I'm making a little bit of a difference in my approach is that I'm filling out my bills, expenses, and additional expenses first. And then I'm figuring out how much I need to pay myself from my income. And that's what I put as income for that month. So the next page is my monthly cash flow. And this is like a mini budget per week, basically. And this just kind of shows me the money coming in and out. And as you see, for my income, it's my payout as well. Although this number is different than the number I put over here because, again, this is new for me. So I'm trying it out. And I thought about doing another like whiteout and changing it. And I said, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go with it and just make the adjustment in the actual column. And then hopefully by the time I do this for 2 months, I'll get more familiar and have a better sense of how I need to give myself payouts, how much they need to be, and when they need to occur during the month. But for now, I'm going to stick with what I have. And I always front load my bills and my payments, or I shouldn't say I choose to do that. That's how my bills are set up. So the first couple weeks are always super busy. And then as I get to weeks 3 and 4, I don't know all of my payouts. I don't know all of my expenses, but I try to put what I know ahead of time. And then as I get more information, I will fill those in. And yeah, that's how this monthly cash flow works. So I fill that out at the beginning of the month. And then this is my monthly summary. This is the page. It's on a classic size because I actually take this out and put it in my catch-all planner so that I can have a snapshot of what I need to do for that month, right? Or for that week. And so, you know, because you plan in your catch-all every week. So you want to know what expenses you're going to have coming up so that you can stay on track of your budget. Because this budget planner as a big planner does not sit on my work desk. It sits somewhere else. And I don't necessarily reference this during the same times that I reference my catch-all. So just having this sheet, I call it my transfer sheet, is really helpful for me to get a snapshot of the budget. This is just the big version of that second sheet. It doesn't really belong in this planner, but when I printed out the planner, because these are available as printables, I designed these and I printed these out. They are available on my Etsy, linked down below. But I just went ahead and printed the whole printable. So I have a second sheet here, and I'm just leaving it. I can use it for notes or whatever. And then you see that I have decorated my November budget layout. I usually don't do a lot of decoration for my budget layouts. If I'm being honest with you, I did more this month just because I guess I was a little bit inspired. But I definitely don't really decorate the weeks. I might put a sticker or something and just call it a day. So it's kind of fun to decorate the months, at least just a little bit. This is just washi tape and a few quotes and a few stickers that I actually printed out. So, you know, not a lot of decoration at all. And then in my monthly goals and actions, this is just me kind of setting up what goals I want to work on for the month. And you notice I just put that same another sticker right here. Again, minimal decoration. And I don't decorate in the weeks really at all. So each week, I've spoken about this before, I actually don't keep track daily. I don't do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I prefer to use a category layout for my week. And that helps me replicate like the cash envelope system. That's one thing. And then the second thing is that I like to see running totals of what I have for my categories for that week. So for the week of November 4th, which is the week I'm filming this, I have a budget for the groceries of $50, a personal budget for $100, nothing for entertainment, nothing for transportation, and $25 for eating out. And then the bills that I have to pay this week, and then a light meal plan. And so that is pretty much what my weekly layouts look like. As I spend money in these categories, I will do two things. I will come in and do a running total over here. So for example, I spent $49.50 at the grocery store. I have 50 cents left in my weekly budget, which should be fine. I bought everything that I needed. And then I will come over to the expense tracker, and I will put it here in my expense tracker as well. Now, I am not including this one in my expense tracker though, because I actually had some cash that I had for birthday money that was not in my original budget, and so I used that for groceries. So I'm not going to include that in my expense tracker. I know diehard budget people are like, you should include that. You should include every penny. Well, I'm not. I'm just not. Mainly because I'm just starting this new budget structure in November, and I'm just trying to make it work. and see what works for me and what doesn't. And it's going to be a little bit all over the place in November. I already know it. Because I have money coming in different places. I have money sitting in different places, and I haven't organized everything the way I need to. It's just what it is. Be flexible, y'all. Don't be so rigid that you don't take action, because it's not going to be perfect, because this is definitely not going to be perfect. That's my advice for today. So during the week, though, I will typically come in and fill in this expense tracker. And other than that charge, everything else that I spend this week will be filled in on the expense tracker. I just haven't really gone anywhere this week to buy anything, so that's why there's really nothing over here. And then the rest of the weeks just kind of look like that. And so we'll go through that throughout the month. Now, I have a couple of challenges and trackers that I want to start in November. I'm not doing anything for the 30-day challenge, only because I have a few other challenges that I want to focus on. So, yeah, I'm not doing a 30-day challenge. But I want to show you how I manage these, because I do not use cash envelopes. I am strictly digital with my debit card and checking accounts and savings accounts. So I spoke about this when I set up my budget planner. And that is, I love the cash envelope system. I just don't love dealing in cash. So I tried to think of ways to replicate that. So I'm going to show you how that works for me. I have challenge pages. I have various pages in the back. You know, I use them whenever I need to use them. Challenges and trackers. Everything from savings jars, debt reduction plans, cash envelopes, whatever the case may be. And then whenever I start one, I take it out the back and I put it in the month that I started. And it just travels with me from month to month if it's a tracker or challenge that lasts more than a month. Or sometimes they're just 30-day challenges or whatever. So I am starting a $2,500 challenge. I started at the beginning of November. And I have that tracker here. But I don't use cash envelopes. I use checking accounts and savings accounts. So in the beginning of my planner, I have this form, this sheet called Sinking and Challenge Goals. And the way this works is that this helps me keep track of when I start challenges and trackers. So for example, I started the $2,500 challenge on November 4th, and then when it's finished, I'll click done. This is not where I keep track of how much money I've saved toward it. This is just so that I'm aware of what challenges I have completed, because all my challenges go into one savings account. So if I have 5 challenges, once I reach the goal of one challenge and I check it off, I need to know that, for example, $2,500 in that account is set aside for that challenge I completed. So that's what this list represents. Now, where I keep track of deposits into that savings account is the Sinking and Challenge Savings Tracker. And I've not made any deposits for that challenge yet. So that's why there's nothing here. But when I do make a deposit, I'll come in and do the date of that deposit, the category, description, however much I deposited, and that balance of what that account is. And that way I can keep track of all of the deposits I'm making per challenges. So again, because this corresponds to a specific savings account that is called Sinking and Challenge Savings. And this just allows me to basically use this as a major envelope, right? It's one envelope, and each of these entries for different challenges is like putting an entry in multiple envelopes. That is what this represents. So I'm going to again show you how that is going to work in real time, because I am also starting a Christmas challenge. Now, what I need to do is figure out which challenge sheet I want to use for my Christmas challenge. I could just do this regular savings challenge. Saving for, no, I do have a Christmas, I think I have a Christmas challenge tracker. I'm not sure. If I don't, I could just do the savings jar. But I don't want to do the savings jar because I'm going to take money. I'm going to put money in and take money out because it actually is Christmas time. So I need to be spending that money. You know, I'm just not completely saving. So I think I'm going to use the cash envelope form for that. I don't know. maybe not, because that's 4 cash envelopes, and I don't think I'm going to make that many deposits before Christmas because it's just not that far away. So I think it's going to work better if I do this saving for. Yeah, I think we're going to do the saving for. It's not super pretty, but no, you know what? Let's do the savings challenge. Yeah, because this one is really set up to be 1 challenge per page, and it's enough space for me to make a lot of deposits and a lot of withdrawals, which is exactly what I need to do. So I'm going to take this out and put this in my November month, along with my $2,500 challenge, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. So we're going to do saving for Christmas. And my goal, I believe, is $1,000. And we are starting this, actually started this on the 4th. And we're going to end it sometime before Christmas, but I don't know yet when that is going to end. So I am going to go ahead and put this behind my $2,500 tracker. And you notice I have a copy of that Sinking and Challenge Savings because this is where I'm going to start. And again, this will just roll over from month to month. So I have not made any deposits into it yet, but I am going to come in here and write this as one of my challenges that I've started. So November 4th, 24, and it is a $1,000 savings challenge. And that is the one that I'm starting. Okay, and the goal is $1,000. So that is all it is for setting up my budget for November. But I love this Sinking and Challenge goals process. We're definitely going to see how it works. I'm excited to start putting money into those savings funds and see how that goes. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and good luck on starting your own budgeting journey. Don't be afraid to do it. No way to budget is the correct way versus the incorrect way. Just do what works for you, make adjustments as needed, and don't hesitate to get started. So thank you guys.